Well, first, flu season severity will depend on a lot of different factors. It can be the type of influenza that's circulating, how well the vaccine matches the strains, and a level of immunity in the population as well. This year, we're more concerned because we're seeing early signs from the southern hemisphere. So, Canada will often look to countries like Australia to see what the experience with their flu season was. And their season was longer and more intense than usual. We are also seeing multiple respiratory viruses circulating at once. We're dealing with COVID-19, RSV vaccine. So this is what we call the triple threat when we bring in influenza as well. The concern is also a low vaccine uptake. Flu vaccination rates in Canada has been declining in recent years, especially amongst younger adults.
Dr. Rowe breaks down the H3N2 strain, what it is, and why it's proving to be such a challenge this season.
So when we classify influenza, we classify them into A, B, C, and D. Influenza A is the one that's most associated with pandemics and severe seasonal outbreaks. Within A, we will further classify according to two surface proteins, hemagglutinin H and neuraminidase N. So that's where you get your H and the N. So H3N2 virus has H3 type of that hemagglutinin and N2 type of the neuraminidase. So why is it problematic? It's problematic because the H3N2 one in particular can mutate more quickly than the other strains. So it makes it harder for our immune systems to recognize it, and then harder for vaccines to stay well matched.
He also addresses concerns that this year's flu season may not be the perfect match for the vaccine, and what that means for people's level of protection.
So I think that's a very important and nuanced question because people will hear the flu vaccine may not be a perfect match, and it sounds discouraging. It sounds like, why do I need to get vaccinated at all? But let's go through what a perfect match or a not a perfect match means. So the WHO and the national health agencies will study flu strains circulating globally and will try to predict which ones are more likely to dominate in the upcoming season. Then the vaccine is formulated months in advance. But like we talked about, the H3N2 can mutate quickly as well. So not a perfect match doesn't mean the vaccine is useless. In fact, it means that the antibodies generated by the shot may not recognize the virus as efficiently. So what does that mean in general? In general, what does that say is that if we have something that's a poor match, the vaccine might reduce your risk of getting sick by maybe 30 to 40% compared to 50 to 60% in a good match year.
Dr. Rowe outlines which groups are most at risk this season and how they can best protect themselves.
And that's a crucial question because we do need to look at risk groups in general, but more specifically with H3N2. So infants and young children, their immune systems are still developing and it makes them less able to fight off influenza. So they're certainly more prone to complications like pneumonia, dehydration, ear infections as well. Similarly, seniors, so ages 65 and above, have weaker immune systems, and they're more likely to develop serious complications as well. Historically, H3N2 seasons are hardest on seniors with the higher hospitalization and death rates. Having said that, there are people with chronic medical conditions, asthma, COPD, diabetes, heart disease, and weakened immune systems that are certainly at higher risk in general for flu and H3N2. And pregnant individuals as well, because pregnancy changes the immune system and it makes flu infections more dangerous as well. Finally, I would say that healthcare workers are at especially high risk because of the contact and because of the work that they do as well. So certainly a lot of high-risk groups that we do need to watch out for.
He also explains how lingering effects of COVID-19 from weakened immunity to lower vaccine uptake are contributing to concerns about this year's flu season.
I think that's a very insightful question because with the legacy of COVID-19, it still shapes a lot of the respiratory illnesses we have. The lingering effects on immunity is still there. Post-COVID, immune changes are still present, and there is long-term immune dysregulation in many people. We do see reduced exposure during the pandemic. So for 2 years, there was masking, distancing, and lockdowns, which means we had less exposure to flu viruses in general, which sounds very positive, but it also means our immune system hadn't been reminded of how to fight influenza. So that immune gap also leads a lot of people susceptible. Long COVID and chronic illnesses have certainly played a big role. But I think a big role now that we're dealing with is pandemic fatigue. So after many years of vaccination campaigns, many people just feel that vaccine fatigue and are just less motivated to get shots in general, including their flu shot. So certainly we have seen still a lot of spillover from COVID-19 causing issues for our health and preventative health today.